Good morning, Commanders fans. How are we today? I don't even know why I asked that because I already know how we are. Disappointed, teed off, everything to describe angry on the fullest of scales of being angry. I already know where we at with it because I'm there too. Like, I gotta be honest, even though we were 3-9 going into this game, I was actually excited for what this game could have been, or what I thought it would have been. And I know I'm not the only one, because again, I mean, we were 3-9, so it's not really much to be excited about at the moment. But I at least thought, okay, Jaden Daniels is healthy and coming back from what they told us. You got Terry, you got Debo, you got Ertz, you got your running backs, Rodriguez, Merritt, and McNichols. I'm not even going to entertain the whole return of Noah Brown because that was definitely overrated and excited. But I thought at least, okay, well, a healthy offense. Now we could see maybe we get to see the full potency of this offense. Like, I wasn't expecting too much from the defense except to be at least bend, don't break. But from the offense, I was expecting so much more going into this game. And knowing that Minnesota had a good defense, but one of the worst offenses, I'm like, okay, well, now, you know what I'm saying? Maybe our defense can look like an NFL quality defense because we're playing a bad offense. And that did not happen. Like, the wheels fell off yesterday. The turntable is no longer wobbling. That joint actually fell down, if you get the reference. Like, I don't know what to say about this team anymore. I don't know what to say about this staff, except they should have left everybody in Minnesota as far as the coaching staff is concerned. Like, that's where I am with this. I mean, I know I would never give up on my squad, but I had a lot more expectation going into this game with a 3-9 team just because we had everybody back so-called healthy. And I knew Jaden wasn't 100%, but at the same time, like, I thought him coming back would kind of give everybody that boost. Like, okay, we got our guy back. We know he's not 100%. We got to protect him better. Or we got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. Same way we did last week with Mariota. Was it last week or whenever we played Denver? I'm like, okay, they're going to draw up these plays and at least get the ball out of his hands quicker. You got Rodriguez, who is actually showing you he can handle toting the rock on a consistent basis and get you positive yardage. I mean, dude was getting, to start the game off, he was getting like 6 yards a clip. Then we get down in the red zone on the 3, and they just decide to go pass. Like, I get it, with 3-9 and you got nothing to lose, but still play competent football. Like, if your running game is doing its thing and it's working, go with it, man. Go with it. Like, go with what works. And that's where Cliff is very puzzling. You know what I'm saying? And nothing about his offense has been very creative or innovative. Even with the addition of Debo, like, you got rid of Brian Robinson because you say he doesn't fit the build of what you're trying to do, which means, okay, you wanted another pretty much receiving threat in the backfield. Well, you got that with Debo, and everything you do with Debo is pretty much predictable. Like, how many screens can you call in one series before a defense is like, man, I already know what that lineup, I already know what that formation is. I know what you're about to do. Because everything is so predictable because you're not giving the runner a chance to set up for your pass game. I mean, they did nothing really to help Jaden yesterday, and everybody's harping about a sophomore slump for Jaden. I feel like it's more so a sophomore slump for this daggone coaching staff. I mean, the defense is porous. Like, J.J. McCarthy picked us apart. J.J. McCarthy, like, granted, that was one of the people that I was like, oh, he's probably going to be a solid quarterback in the league. I said solid. I didn't say nothing great. But I say he'll probably be a solid quarterback in the league because, and I'm sorry, I get them hardballs mixed up. Whichever hardball it was that coached him in Michigan, he's pretty good with quarterbacks. So I say he'll be a solid quarterback. Yesterday, we had that Bama looking like Drew Brees against us, you know? Like, I barely have any words to do this video, but I'm trying to get back in the motion of doing videos. And yesterday was just absolutely disappointing. Like, in my 30-something odd years of being a fan of this team, I have never, and I mean never, been able to walk away from a game, come back, and be like, what I miss? Like, yesterday, that's normally how I am. What did I miss? Oh, snap, I might miss something. You know what I'm saying? Let me hurry up, run in here and do that and get back out to the man cave. Yesterday, I was just, once we went up 14-0, I knew the game was over. And I just really, it was one of them games where I was willing to cut off. Like, I was actually willing to cut that game off because of how piss poor we looked. Like, guys look like they don't even want to play football anymore. Like, I don't want to hear anything. Like, when Dan Quinn took about 45 minutes to finally come to the podium and speak, I just wanted to see what he had to say. Like, I didn't want to, don't give us the effort. All those guys put great effort out there. Like, look, I hate to take away from a man and what he does on his job, but the effort they put out there yesterday was not, it wasn't the greatest. And the effort this coaching staff has put into having this team prepared every week has not been, they've done a poor job. Like, it hasn't even been mediocre. Like, every week it gets worse and worse. And I don't know what to say no more. Like, I gave Dan Quinn a shot, and I felt like Dan Quinn's team peaked last year, same as it did with Atlanta. It peaked, and then it just fell off. Like, they had their highest moment that they could have, and the wheels just fell off, and now the wheels are falling off here. Now, I don't know how they can, like, it's no real turning around at this point. Like, let these young guys get in there and do their thing. I mean, that's no disrespect to Bobby Wagner and the Hall of Fame career he had. Louvu has been abysmal this season. Like, talk about guys pulling disappearing acts. I don't know if it's him or the scheme, but he's not that guy with it running around with his hair on fire anymore. Sam Steele, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know at this point. Like, I'm just severely disappointed at how we came out yesterday and showed just how bad we really are. Like, that was horrendous. I mean, you got Jaden running for his life in his first game back. You got this dude running for his life. Now, he might have missed a couple open guys, but you got to remember, man, when you have these major injuries, because I've had one myself, when you have these major injuries and you go back to playing a sport, that there's a mental block that you have to get over. And you can see that he had his mental block. And, you know, I'm not going to say, you know, that's an excuse. But at the same time, you could kind of see that he was favoring that left arm. Every time he had to run, take a hit. And, I mean, he was taking some hits. Hey, Miss Merlin, good morning. Jaden was taking some hits. So that's why I can't sit here and say, oh, it's just a sophomore slump. This team is just bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a bad team. And this is a terribly coached team this season. I got homeboy saying that, Jaden covered up everything last season. No, I think it was just the shock of how do you defend this team? And now that the film was out and people had time to really study how Cliff was using Jaden and Cliff's offense, guess what? They locked in and they're shutting crap down. So it's like, where are your adjustments? Where's your ability to adjust? We don't adjust on offense. We don't adjust on defense. But the most disappointing thing is you have a better offensive line this year, and our quarterback, every time he's in there, no matter which quarterback it is, they got to run for their life. Like, they got to throw on the run. Like, that's not a part of the scheme and how some of these plays are supposed to go. So people are tripping off Jaden missing throws downfield. How is he supposed to look downfield when he's got to worry about what's right in front of him? Like, I've never played quarterback before, but common sense would tell you, if one or two Bammers are getting free every time, I got to keep looking at the offensive line to make sure that these Bammers done got their blocks before I can even make my reads downfield. He didn't have that issue last year. Like, last year wasn't a fluke for him. The problem is that this year, everything is so predictable, and Cliff stuck on this street for a minute. There we go. Like, Cliff refuses to run the ball to help the pass open up. And that is hurting us. Cliff gets down by one score, you're not going to see the running backs anymore. Pretty much. Like, Cliff's got an AFC mindset. Like, he needs to take his talents to the AFC where you could throw 1,000,000 times a game. Like, he needs to be out there with Justin Herbert or not CJ Stroud, but Daniel Jones. Like, he needs to be in them type of offenses where they can throw 100 million times and people be satisfied. Well, not even with Daniel Jones, because they got a great running back in Jonathan Taylor. But I don't understand how you got Rodriguez getting 6 yards a clip and you just decide to get down to the goal line and don't use him at all. Like, he gets you down to the 3-yard line after a 15-yard rush. And yeah, my bad. I know I got reconnection issues. Shout out to Verizon and these fake 5Gs they advertise when you buy these phones. But yeah, like, you got Rodriguez and you just don't run the ball with only 3 yards to get. And not only that, like, that throw to Debo, that was on Debo. The throw was right there. It hit his hands and everything. He just didn't catch it. He just didn't come down with it. That was on Debo. But this team is I feel like we got a solid team, but I also feel like when you watch these other defenses, we are very slow in comparison. And I get you wanted to have a lot of older players to kind of help the mindset and the culture and bring that championship vibe to the locker room. But you bring the championship mindset to the locker room, but then you lose what you really need on the field to win those games. Like, you don't have the speed. Like, Bobby Wagner doesn't have that athleticism anymore. I mean, like, it is what it is. Again, it's no disrespect to the guy. Great football player. But that time is behind him. That time is gone. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, give these younger dudes a shot. I've been banging on the table for Ja'Cory Brooks, and I think he played like 1 or 2 games. But they keep putting guys like Chris Moore out there. Like, if you're going to put anybody out there, they should have kept Robbie Chosen. I like Robbie Chosen way better because at least he can get some separation. Our receivers for like the past 15 years have not been able to get any kind of separation. Like, what are we teaching these dudes? Like, that's why Terry's one of the best contested catchers, because they get no separation. Every time you turn around, there's a defensive back right on them. And they got to make these tough catches. They always got to make tough catches. They got to make tough catches. That's why I said, man, go get guys. Like, before we went and got Debo, I was like, man, even before when we went and got Marshawn, I'm like, go get George Pickens. Go get a DK Metcalf. If our guys are not going to get open, then go get some of the best contested catchers there are in the league and make it work. Granted, I know people, that's a Madden state of mind, but is getting Debo not a Madden state of mind? Like, is that not a Madden move? Like, you gave Cliff a so-called gadget receiver, and we're not seeing the benefit of that. Like, Cliff's creative or innovative offense ability to create a great offense has not been on display, And I'm not even going to compare it to Arizona, because can we really blame it all on him when he had a guy like Kyler Murray who wasn't really putting in the work? But from what we're seeing here, like, I feel like we let our best option as our next offensive coordinator go back to Stanford with Tavita Pritchard. I was banging on the table for Tavita Pritchard. I banged on the table when Ron Rivera went off and fired Kevin O'Connell. And guess who we lost to yesterday? Kevin O'Connell. I banged on the table when we were looking for, when Josh Harrison and fired Ron Rivera and we're looking for a coach. The two coaches I said we should go get if you wanted to have a championship mentality at coach. I mean, I get Dan Quinn was with the Legion of Boom and all of that, but you had Brian Flores, who had been with New England underneath Belichick all that time. Granted, he got booted out of Miami for all the wrong reasons, all because he told them the truth about Tua, that you can't win with Tua. And then I say Mike McDonald, the guy who's currently coaching the Seahawks. And if you don't know what Mike McDonald's up to, go look up the Seahawks and see how they are defensively. Go look up Minnesota and see what they are defensively. Then you look at us. Who did we go get? We went and got Dan Quinn. Where did he come from? Inconsistent old Dallas. He had a beast of a linebacker / defensive end in Micah Parsons. You had a pass rush. We have no pass rush. Like, you let guys like Fowler walk out the door to bring in. You didn't even bring. You brought in Wise. Unfortunately, he got hurt. What was your game plan after that? You could have kept Clelin Ferrell for that. Now you're down to Jacob Martin, who everybody was, oh yeah, bring Jacob Martin back. And I'm like, Jacob Martin's okay. Have we heard his name since? No Jacob Martin. And I mean, that's not all the chuck up on Dan Quinn. Yeah, that's on Adam Peters, as far as players. But you let solid guys, you let our sack leader roll out. And now, who's our sack leader? Von Miller with 6 sacks. 6.5, I think. 6 or 6.5, I can't remember. But that's the guy you're leaning on now. Because you've lost so many people. Like, our next man up is like the next old man up. Like, we don't have anything behind these guys. Even at receiver. Like, you brought back Noah Brown off of one catch. And the ball had to be slowed down for him to catch that Hail Mary thing. Like, that was wonderful. Most memorable play probably in our history. But at the end of the day, like, what has he done for you lately? Get a pass interference here and there? But how many games have we won because of that? And then he's hardly ever available. Like, you should have brought back Crowder when everybody went down. And you should have brought back Olamide, Zacchaeus. Ben said that. When Terry wasn't open last season, Alameda came up huge in quite a few games. And you can chuck up what he's doing in Chicago, but here, Alameda was a solid option for Jaden, you know. And I'm a little disappointed at how Cliff is not getting these younger tight ends involved. You got, what's it? Colson Yankoff? Colson Yankoff, and you got Ben Sinnott, and everybody's saying, oh, well, it must be on Ben Sinnott. No, it's on this coaching staff, you know. They're not giving these young guys a shot because they want to keep throwing guys like Zach Ertz out there, and I get it. But Zach Ertz hasn't been but so great this season. Give these younger dudes a shot. Like, you're 3-10 now. This is the coaching staff we got to go forward with. Give these younger dudes a shot. Like, I can see how Cliff thinks that his offense is potent when you're practicing against the defense that we have. Like, it's easy to sit here. We don't have iron sharpening iron in practice. Like, even Dan Quinn said that everything looked good in practice. Yes, everything is going to look good in practice. Your offense is going to look great in practice when you have a terrible defense to play against, to practice against. Like, common sense, you know? Your defense goes out there and gets mollywopped every week. Yes, we saw improvement, the past 2 weeks? But then that got exposed this week. And it's like, now what? Like, our offense probably exposes the heck out of our defense in practices. And we probably think, oh, well, it's Jaden, so, you know, it's not that bad. It's not going to be that bad once we play in the game. Yes, it's that bad, you know. So, if we're going to talk about a sophomore slump, let's not just pin it on Jaden. Let's pin it on this coaching staff. Like, they are having a sophomore slump, and they don't know how to get themselves out of it. Like yesterday, I'm talking to one homeboy, and I'm like, man, I'm just waiting for this press conference. And what happens? I said, Dan is on the phone right now with Ron Rivera, trying to figure out, hey, man, I need one of your losing speeches for this press conference I got to do. It took Dan Quinn 45 minutes, so I guess he had to wait for Ron Rivera to write up a speech for him to say in yesterday's press conference and fax it over. And then you kind of listen to these people and how they comment on the team, the professionals, and it's like, oh, well, nah, man, this team is trash. You know? They practices are trash. Like, you can't practice against a trash defense and think that your offense can go out there and do the same thing to quality defenses. Like, you know, if you can't recognize your defense is trash, I don't know what to tell you, but yesterday was very disappointing. I was actually looking forward to so much better. And I thought that offensive line was going to be so much better, knowing that Jaden was hurt. And that these guys would say, hey, look, we got to protect our guy, you know. You send Jaden Daniels out there and he gets mollywopped the way he did, somebody needs to go. Somebody needs to go. Like, I know David Blau took over as, I guess, quarterback coach. Y'all better send him to Stanford and bring Tavita back. Like, that's probably the one thing Eric Bieniemy did right for us, was bringing Tavita Pritchard into this organization as our quarterback coach. And now Tavita's gone. I mean, we'll see how he runs an offense once college football starts up again next year. So I'll definitely be watching Stanford because, again, Tavita was one of them dudes that I was like, man, I think he's going to be a solid guy, offensive coordinator in the league, you know. Same way I thought Kevin O'Connell would be a solid coordinator in the league, and now we see he's just a solid coach when it comes to coaching an offense. Granted, he's had the worst offense, but, I mean, I think he's got to find him a quarterback. But, man, I'm very disappointed with yesterday. Like, I'm sitting there watching players get hurt while I'm sitting on the couch in the cave. I'm hurt. Like, send the trainers to my crib because I was hurt yesterday. Like, I'm tired, man. Last season was great, but to follow it up and we're 3-10. I didn't see that happening. I knew we had a tougher schedule this year, but I thought at least we'd show up in these games and be a lot more competitive. We haven't been competitive since probably, I mean, they say the Broncos game, but I'd go back as far as the Chargers game. Yeah, I'd go back as far as the Chargers game. That's when we was at our most competitive. And Maryland, I can't knock them for bringing JD back. Because I said he needs to play the rest of the season. Like, he played through a good season. He's got to play through the bad. I mean, it just is what it is. But I thought he was at least at like 80% healthy at least. But he wasn't even 80% healthy. Because he's got to get over that. He didn't get over that mental hump with that injury. And you could see it. Like, they had to pull him. Oh, and thinking about no protection, fire Bobby Johnson. Because that O-line has been terrible. How do you have a better O-line? How do you upgrade at left tackle to one of the best left tackles in the league? And you shift the O-line and get you got Tyler Biadasz. Tyler Biadasz has not been Tyler Biadasz of last year, this season, you know. Everybody on that line has been blown up. Daggone near everybody. And I don't want to see no PFF grades. Like, looking at what happened yesterday, our quarterback was on the run. Oh, and commentators, I thought he'd be a little nervous about using his legs. The kid was nervous about using his legs, but he had no choice. Not unless he was just going to be a sitting duck in the pocket. Like, man, that game was ridiculous, man. I'm about to go ahead and get off of here, so I can get mentally ready for this Monday at work. I only put the hat on because I felt compelled to do the video. I was going to do it yesterday, but I didn't want to act off raw emotion. But this team sucks. This team sucks, yeah. And that bothers me. That bothers me to my core. And if it doesn't bother anybody else to their core, I'm not going to call you a terrible fan or none of that. I don't do that. But this bothered me to my core. But y'all have a great Monday. Yeah, we're going to get heckled. It is what it is. We've been getting it. Like, at this point of the season, they can't say nothing that we ain't already heard before. Like, we're a bad team. It is what it is. Much love to all my fellow Commander fans out there. Like I said, have a blessed Monday. Let's go ahead and end this in my boy Jeroyce's classic fashion. It's burgundy and gold till the blood turns cold. Hail to the Commanders. Yeah, we're terrible. But don't give up on them. But we're still terrible. Y'all have a great one.